Do you need an excuse to make over your laundry room? Well, this down market may be just the ticket to help you get a better utilization of your space, more storage, and make it a nicer place to do your weekly chores. Stay right there because we have the answer that'll chase away your laundry day blues. So glad you could join me today on For Your Home. Are you like me? Are you just itching to rip down some old wallpaper? Maybe you're thinking about knocking out a wall or two, or getting rid of some of those energy hog appliances that you have. Well, now is the perfect time because contractors, painters, they're all looking for work, which means their rates are more reasonable and retailers are offering some great discounts out there for materials, plus there's some great rebates on energy appliances. So now is the time to really do those makeovers. And why not make them when you're family and you can enjoy them much more? And then, after a while, the housing market recuperates, which we all know it's going to. Your house is going to be so beautiful that you may not even want to move. This is my least favorite room, and that's not because I don't like to do the laundry. I don't really mind. It's the fact that this room is so out of date. I've lived in this house for 5 years, and I've remodeled almost every inch of it. This room is the last room to get the makeover. So first thing that I want to do is I want to lose this wallpaper. Wallpaper can really date a space, and if you're thinking about selling your house, think about getting rid of the wallpaper and putting up some fresh paint. The other thing that I want to do is I love the washer and dryer. I'm going to keep them, but I need to get them lower. They're so big and bulky looking. They take over the room. Well, down at the bottom, most of these front loaders have a storage drawer underneath them, and you can get rid of that. And that's what I'm going to do is take it down, and it'll lower the height of the washer and dryer. Now, once it's lowered, I want to remove this laminated countertop and replace it with maybe a granite or maybe a new quartz material. And I'm going to bring the countertop all the way across and then over the top of the washer and dryer. That way I'll have folding space and room to put things when I'm working all the way across. It'll be much more streamlined and modern looking. Now, one of the things that I'm not going to do though is take out the floor. There's no reason to. Always look at a room and assess what is good, what can I keep. The floor is perfectly fine, the color works for me, so it's staying. Another thing that's staying is the lighting. I've always had plenty of lighting in this room, so why mess with a good thing? And it still looks perfectly fine. Now, cabinet space. The smaller space you have to work with, the better organization you need. And I don't have enough cupboards in here. And when I open these, you'll see I have a lot of flower vases. I know. Chris is always telling me I've got plenty, and then I buy more. And I've got them stuck in other places in the house too. Well, I'm going to bring all of them, and I hope I get enough cupboards up here that I can store them all away. So I think that this place is going to be perfect, and it's going to be a lot more fun to work in here and more organized. So what I need to do is take some measurements, do a few sketches, and then go see my friend Carol, the cabinet designer, and see what kind of input she can give me. She's always got great ideas. Now, it may seem kind of strange to be in a kitchen design shop when I'm planning a laundry room. Well, it's exactly where you ought to go because anytime you're looking on incorporating cabinets, you need to be with the professionals that know how to solve your storage problems. And you have all the solutions. This is Carol Lindell, and Carol and I have worked on projects before. You've seen her, I'm sure, on the show. Carol, we're looking at this laundry room makeover, and I'm coming to you because I've got specific needs in this laundry room.
Yes.
So why is it so important that I talk to someone like yourself who is a professional in this design world?
Well, especially when we have a small space like this, we can get everything to fit exactly and really store everything that you want to put away. So we work very closely with our clients to understand their lifestyle, how are they going to use the space, whether it be a laundry room, a kitchen, a master bath, a library, any of those areas.
Anywhere they're looking to solve their storage
exactly.
problems. When you come in here, there's just wonderful displays to look at, like in a lot of kitchen design shops.
Right.
How do you decide what manufacturer you're going to work with?
We start with, first of all, what are the key components you're looking for? All of our manufacturers, they create custom products made just for you. But also it's the fit, it's the finish, it's the construction, and it's the durability of the paints, the finishes, and it's the company. It's knowing that they're going to be there for the long term. Whenever we draw, when we design, we know that they will make us look good. Because if we have a challenge, an engineering challenge, could you just do this a little bit differently? They'll work with us. Everything is made custom to order. Nothing is put together until we place the order after working with you.
Okay, so just don't be swayed by just the pretty face. Make sure there's something behind that, right?
Exactly.
Of course, that's a good rule for life.
Oh,
right,
exactly.
Girl? Okay, well, I have my measurements here of exactly what I want. I've made my list of, you know, the kind of things I need to store. It's up to you to create something that will fit into that limited space.
Oh, let's get started. This is fun. Wonderful.
Right. With cabinets secure, it was time to start establishing my color palette and selecting the other designer aspects of the room. For the walls, I turned to decorative artist Melinda Strom. One of the things that I hated the most about that laundry room was that wallpaper. I've always wanted to get rid of it. So when we started doing this laundry room makeover, I said, what the heck am I going to do to the wall? So that's when I called on my friend Melinda. Melinda is a great faux finisher, and she and I love to shop. We go to the gift market together in Atlanta and travel around. And I said, come, show me what to do. So this is what you brought me, huh?
Yes, it is.
What do we got?
Well, what I tried to do was bring you some things that were really trendy, because I know you like that kind of thing. And also in minty green, because I know those are the colors in your house. What I brought you were some metallic foils.
Now, these are the trendiest things that are happening right now.
These are the trendiest things that are happening right now.
Gorgeous.
The metallic foils with a little metallic stencil over the top and crystals.
These are Swarovski crystals?
Yes, they are.
So glitzy.
Yes, they are, as a matter
This
of
might be
fact.
too glitzy for my laundry room, but it'll look great in my powder room. I love that. Okay.
Metallic paint. This is a new kind of metallic paint. It goes on really easy. It flows out really nicely, and I really like it. And this is also a little metallic plaster. I mixed two colors together. I mixed Vicky's minty green.
So I have my own paint color now?
Yes, your own paint color.
Special.
And a little pearl on top of that, just to add some cream in there, because I knew that you were going to use white cabinets.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
This actually might be my favorite.
I love
I just love the strié. It's got metallic paint underneath, and then I striate on the top. It's this same metallic plaster cut with some glaze, and then I striate it with a wallpaper brush, and then this is a stencil.
So we could either go just with this on the walls if I wanted to, or we could scatter these further out, or do whatever we wanted with that.
You could do whatever you want with that.
I love that. That is really fresh and looks great. Looks like a piece of fabric. You know how I love fabric.
It does, doesn't it? This is something, it's been out for a few years, but the faux finishers are really starting to use it, as are the designers. It's a metallic transfer foil. It comes in a gazillion different colors. I didn't have time to get Vicky's minty green, but this is Celadon green, so I put the mint green metallic
that's
plaster
one
on
of the
top
things
of that.
I love about faux finishing is that, you know, someone might show you a design and you go, I love that, but it's totally the wrong color, but that's not really what they should be looking at.
No, they shouldn't be looking at the color at all, as a matter of fact, because anything you see here I can do in any color.
Any color that we wanted in.
And also everything you see here pretty much is custom mixed.
I love this. These are so great, and I know you worked on some new colors and created some new things for me. Okay, here's my big question. First of all, I can't make up my mind this quickly. This is magnificent. And this, tell me about this. Oh my gosh, is this gorgeous?
This is completely different from all of the other ones that I brought. This is a product called Terra Green, and it is a completely 100% green product underneath, and then on top it's a Venetian plaster. And I used a stencil with the Terra Green, and then I troweled the Venetian plaster on the top.
This is so beautiful.
Burnished in between. I did a custom color for you. I didn't know, I know you like light and airy, and this could have gone a little heavy, but I think with the color, I think it would be beautiful with your cabinets and your
Well, you know, the thing that I love about it is the fact that it is all a green product, because the cabinets that we're putting in there are also from sustainable forest, and I think that that's a great feature for us to work with. Okay, here's my question. Wallpaper come down or wallpaper not come down?
It depends on if and when you start pulling it down, what you find out. If you find out that you're taking it down and it's completely ripping the wall apart, I would say forget it. And I would leave it up there. I would skim coat the seams with a drywall compound, and then cover it, coat it, maybe 2, maybe 3 coats of a really good oil-based primer. And you should be fine.
What I'd like to do is, I haven't picked out my granite yet. I have my cabinets with existing floors that we have to match. And I would like to be able to prop these up in the laundry room, look at them for, you know, a couple of days in different lighting, and share it with Chris, and us kind of come to a conclusion. And then pick up my granite, and then you can help me kind of hone it down to just 1 or 2 choices. Would that work?
That'll work.
Okay, well, I can't wait to see you do this process, whichever one I pick out.
Well, I can't wait either.
All right,
It'll be a lot of fun.
Thanks so much. This is great. This is great. I love it. This is the finish that I finally settled on. Isn't it beautiful? You know, it wasn't easy. You saw all of those options that Melinda gave to me. And sometimes you can have so many options you can never make a choice, but I finally had to step up to the plate. After I had the wall colors selected, then I was ready to go out and do some of the other designer touches, like the tile and the granite countertops. Now, that's the way you always want to decorate. Think of the biggest items first, the most permanent items, and then work your way down. Now, these are the glass tile I selected for the backsplash. And you know how much I love glass? Well, this is Castello glass, and it has a great iridized finish to it. I selected an aquamarine color because it goes with everything we're working with in there. Plus, to me, it looks like water. Now, you could also get the same kind of iridized glass in a smoky topaz or peridot or even a black opal shade. So whatever your decor, you're going to find some glass tiles out there that will meet exactly your details. This particular group of glass has a little bar of dots that run across it. It has a nice design in a border piece, another row of that, and then our field tiles are 4x4s. So when you're making those selections for tiles, think about all of the different elements that you need to create the design that you want. And then, of course, you need to know how many square feet you have to work with, multiply it out, and that's how much glass you need to get. Now, one of the great things about glass is that it is environmentally friendly. That means that these tiles can be recycled over and over again, and they actually are made from recycled glass themselves. Makes it a perfect match for my laundry room. Back to the walls. The wallpaper had to come off, and of course, that was my job. Armed with a spray bottle filled with water and a good putty knife, I peeled it off piece by little tiny piece. Filled the holes in the wall, and I washed off all the glue that remained. Then it was time for Melinda to do her magic. She started with a good base coat of the color that we wanted, that beautiful aquamarine. And then she added the first layer of plaster, had to let that dry overnight, another layer of plaster, and then, being the good friend she is and the perfectionist, she added a third layer. And on to the final glass bead detail. I tell you, Melinda is so talented. The cabinets arrived and Jeff got busy installing them into the laundry room. Remember, you can save those decorating dollars if you're willing to do the prep work yourself. Leave the tough stuff for the pros. I absolutely love my new laundry room cabinets. I couldn't be happier. Jeff did a great job of installing them, and the nice clean lines of the cabinets and the elegance of the hardware, exactly what I had in mind. Now, this is my favorite new cabinet right here, this nice big tall one. Before, I had to store my ironing board on a rack behind the door, and I had a little step stool that I kept for reaching the tall cabinets in my kitchen. I stored it at the other end of the laundry room. Now, they're going to have a permanent home right in this tall cabinet, along with the mop and the broom. I am very pleased. But to make this change in my laundry room, that meant that my plumber, Chris, had to do some work for me. Chris, you guys had to move this over, correct?
Yes, Vicki. First step we had to do was get the plumbing prints to see exactly where we need to relocate it to. Then we capped the water lines in your crawl space so the demolition guys could come in and not worry about hitting any water lines. Once we did that, we opened up the sheetrock very carefully so we wouldn't hit any wires or gas lines or drain or water lines in the wall. Removed that, and we had to shift it about 12 inches.
Okay, now you moved it 12 inches. Is it any more work to move it 12 inches than, say, 3 or 4 inches?
It is more work to move it. The further you go, the more work it's going to take.
Okay, so remember that when you're planning a remodeling project, try to stay as close as you can to the water source, correct?
Correct.
Speaking of moving water sources, over here you had to do more work for us because we have different types of washer and dryers than before, and our idea is to get a nice smooth counter.
That is correct. What we needed to do was the old laundry box sat up about this high. We needed to lower it to get below the countertop to accommodate the new washer and dryer under-counter mount, and we just dropped everything down. Reconnected.
Just brought it right on down to that level. One of the most important aspects of this plumbing that you're looking at is that white tag that's hanging in front of the connections, because that's our inspection notice. Even if you're doing a project yourself, always pull a permit on it and have the inspector come and make sure your work turned out exactly like you wanted it, because you don't want water squirting everywhere, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so it looks like we've got everything working for us now.
We do, Vicki, and here's your faucet.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
It's a beautiful faucet. Unfortunately, it is a little too big for the area. Once the countertop comes on, we will have clearance issues with it hitting the new cabinetry.
You know what? I didn't think about this piece coming down, and I love that faucet. So now I'm going to have to go and order a new faucet.
That's right.
Okay, well, you know, I tell you, there's all these little details in every project, and the work just continues. Speaking of work and surprises and details, what did you find underneath my crawl space?
When we went onto the crawl space to cap the water lines, we found a varmint of some sort living underneath there, and we think it was a possum.
We hope it's a possum. The kind of call I always love to get at work is we found something living in your crawl space. Now I'm going to have to get some kind of critter wrangler underneath my house to get that guy out of here. You know, remodeling projects, there's always work to be done.
When FYH plans a remodeling project, we always try to incorporate as many green products as possible. For this laundry room, I selected cabinets that were designed by Robin Wilson. She is the author of Kennedy's Greenhouse and an eco-health designer.
Robin, I know my viewers and all of your clients are looking for a way that they can embrace the eco-friendly products into their home remodeling projects. What are some of the health benefits, though, that they're going to get if they make that change?
It's priceless to your family to improve the indoor air quality of your space. And that means off-gassing is something you want to address. You want to make sure that the adhesives that you're using have no added urea formaldehyde.
So like the glue that holds the cabinet together.
That's right.
No formaldehyde.
That's right. You want to make sure that there's low to no VOC paints and stains, and also that there are options such as linseed oil, which is more of a natural finish.
A lot of times you'll look at eco-friendly products and it'll be like, here's our two choices.
Their frameless line has any number of colors, and so you can really make a custom selection for your home that's still eco-friendly and beautiful.
What's the benefit of working with a frameless cabinet versus another style?
A frameless cabinet uses 10% less wood in the manufacturing process, but there's also 10% more usable space within the cabinet.
Well, that's good. I love that.
I know. And there's a health benefit too. When you have a frameless kitchen cabinet, you can actually clean the entire cabinet. So there won't be any dust bunnies in the corners.
Okay, so I love that idea about it as well. Now, you get out there in the marketplace, you see all these different cabinet manufacturers, and how do you know that the one that you are selecting really does go out of their way to manufacture in a more green-friendly manner?
Well, they actually use a recycling process for all of the waste wood in the factory, which I think is a phenomenal commitment to the environment.
Okay, so they're taking those products that would just be thrown away and they're recycling them.
That's right.
So if you really want to bring that eco-friendly product into your home, you know, look at who's making it. That's the bottom line.
Right.
And how are they making it and where's it being made?
That's right. And what is their global commitment? This is a company that has a lifetime warranty on their product, and that means they've been there for 64 years. They're going to be there much longer.
Well, that's really great news for everybody who's trying to make that decision. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to see how my new laundry room, you know, all comes together when all the details are done. Thanks for sharing this with us, Robin.
Thank you.
Chris's Plumbing passed all the inspections with flying colors. The cabinets have been installed, and now we're ready for the finishing touches to our makeover.
Well, our laundry room, we're just clicking right along with all of our projects. Next up is going to be countertops. Now, last year, you may have seen the episode where I replaced my countertops here in the kitchen. Paul was the one who did the work for me. I was so happy with it. I said, hey, Paul, will you come and do another project with me? And like a fool, he rushed in.
Well, I'm glad to be back, and it looks like your tops are keeping up with your busy lifestyle.
Well, I do love them. They're absolutely gorgeous. You know, what are people, when they come out to your stone yard, what are they looking for now? What are some of the trends?
Well, you know, we've been selling your polished stone for for about 10 years now, but you are seeing a lot of designers coming in, they're wanting different finishes and different textures. So what we have here, these are all 3 Uba Tuba, which is one
Easy
of the...
for you to say.
It's fun to say, but it's also one of the most popular stones because it's actually one of the largest veins of stone mined out of Brazil. This is your polished stone, and then this is going to be a leathered finish, which in terms of paint is going to be more like your semi-gloss, whereas this is your high gloss. And these are both brushed, but this I have added a color enhancer to it to give it a little bit more color and a little bit more of a sheen. This is going to have more of a rustic look to it.
Yeah, but they're both, I love that. That is great. I would imagine that this kind of look would be perfect like outdoors maybe?
Correct. You see a lot of these on outdoor grills or outdoor kitchens with maybe a chiseled edge. And over here, these are also the same stone. And this one has a matte finish in which we have removed the polish. So this is also known as honed.
Still really smooth though.
Correct.
So you have the honed finish here, you have the brushed in here, and the leather look here. Those are great. I like those. I think they go too well. If you're doing like a more eco-friendly kind of looking space, I think they have a nice application there as well.
They do.
What about colors? What are we seeing that people are wanting in colors now?
We are still seeing a lot of our level 1 stones, more your consistent stones that are more affordable. With the economy the way it is, you're seeing a lot of people use level 1 stones for a lot of applications. What's happening a lot is people are maybe using exotic stones for an island and using your level 1 for the bulk of the project in your perimeter.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but some people are getting creative and coming out to the yard and picking out some remnants to use. They can get an exotic remnant that they can use for their island and then use the level 1 for the perimeter.
And remnants are always a lot cheaper than a big
They
slab.
are, and you can use them a lot for your bathrooms.
Okay.
Laundry rooms.
Laundry rooms. I'm hoping I find one of those myself
Right.
when I get out there. What are kind of things that they're looking for in edge treatments now?
What you're seeing, I mean, these are standard edges, which is, just your full bowl, your flat, your half bowl, bevel, and this is an OG. What a lot of people are doing now, actually, to give a little bit more depth to their countertops, are stacking 2 different edges, maybe a OG on top of a full bowl, or you also can take a full bowl edge and put it between, when you put 2 stones together and use a full bowl edge across that to where it looks like a really big hunk of stone.
And it's not. It's just right on the edge they're a hunk, but the rest
Correct.
is the same thickness.
Correct. It's right there on the edge, which sometimes it can either sit on top of your countertop or sometimes sit below.
Okay, well, I was interested in having that done for my cabinet, but you said, since we were working with an existing kitchen, I couldn't do that.
Right, because we had both the drawer here that would have had to have been adjusted and the cabinet height, the door heights, which the stone would have interfered with. So
Opening and operating. So that's an option you can only do like in a brand new kitchen kind of situation or a new island kind of thing. Now, what is one of the best ways not to run into those kind of problems and go, oops, later on?
Bring as much information as you can in the beginning of the process. Any faucets, sinks, cabinet details, or anything like that. Bring it at the beginning, and that way we can sort of put our heads together and make sure we can avoid any future problems.
So if you're acting as your own interior designer, or if you're working with a designer, get them involved in that process, the cabinet maker involved in it, your stonemason, and of course all your plumbing fixtures as well.
Correct.
All right, so get them all together and you get the countertops that you love.
Right.
Well, I know I'm not going to have any problem finding exactly what I want for my laundry room and go out there and jump in that little golf cart, we'll tool around, and take me over to the Remington yard first, okay?
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Paul. These countertops turned out absolutely perfect. They're exactly the way I had pictured it in my mind. They go all the way across the top of both the washer and dryer, which gives me this large space to do folding. I even have room for a laundry basket now. I couldn't be happier. And after everything started moving along, then I decided, I am going to replace my sink and my faucet. I'm really thrilled with this new system because I have a little Westie, and she loves to dig in the Carolina red clay. This sink is really nice and deep, and it'll accommodate her very well. And this is a different kind of sink than maybe you've seen before. It is made out of a really strong gauge of stainless steel. This is a 16 gauge. And it also has added properties to it that stop it from corroding from things like bleach and hard chemicals. In a laundry room or even an outdoor kitchen sink, that's the kind of thing you want to look into. So this will be great. I won't have to worry about it corroding over a period of time. The faucet, this just pulls out nice like this, so I can rinse Luna down right after we give her a bath. Soap dispenser, couldn't be handier. Now, the great thing about this laundry room is that I will have plenty of storage space for all my flower vases that I had before, my ironing board right in here, and my stepping stool. It all ties together beautifully, and that's what you want. You want a laundry room that functions for not only you, but members of your family and your family pet, like this one does, and you want a room that is really beautiful, because if you're going to spend time doing the laundry, it might as well be a fun experience. I'm really glad that I waited for the laundry room to be the last room that I decorated in this house. It gave me time to think about exactly how I wanted to use that room. And if you're planning a project at your house, take the time to lay it all out. Go look at all the wonderful products that are out there. You're going to want to incorporate those in the new plan, and it's a lot of fun to shop for them. Now, I hope you'll find time next time to join me right here on For Your Home. You never know what I'm going to be doing. Could be putting on an addition, could be digging in the garden, or just going shopping. But you know you're going to want to tag along.
If you would like additional information about today's guests or project ideas, please visit us on the web at foryourhome.com. We will do our best to help you out.